It's the penultimate episode. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Pat, I am your father.
Daddy.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags. I am the Beard Master. With me today, my Padawan loner, Patrick Brown.
G'day, mate.
How you going?
Oh, yeah, you know.
Oh, fuck.
What a day.
What a fucking day we've had. God.
What a shit show.
What's this? This is like the fourth time we've tried to record this now?
Yeah, it is.
We tried like 3 times earlier and now we've had a bad day. We have so many fucking technical difficulties. The show was nearly over. I was that fucking disheartened. I'm like, nah, that's it. Show's over. That's it. We had a good run for fucking 9 months or whatever. That's it. It's all done. Oh,
We'll be right.
Tried to record this morning and just, everything was just fucking up. The recording software wouldn't work. It was cutting in and out. And then I tried to fix it. Now my external hard drive's fucked, which has got everything on it that I saved for the show. And now I'm really disheartened because I need to get it fixed. Because it's got everything on it. It's got every episode, every logo, thumbnail. Fuck.
You like intro music.
Yeah.
All that.
I need a holiday. How you been, mate? What's going on with you?
Oh, yeah. Not bad. Going all right. Yeah, I went to Melbourne for a bit last few days and saw some family. But yeah, and just work. Been pretty flat out with work, trying to catch up for the holidays.
Before Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, just, not bad. I've been playing this GTA update.
Hey, the Doomsday Heist.
We had to go at that, didn't we, the other day?
Yeah, we had to go the other night playing the Deluxos and that. Fuck, they're fun.
Oh,
they're
so good.
Pretty much the DeLoreans. You know, but yeah, fuck, they're good fun. You can drive, they drive really fast. They got machine guns and rockets. They hover. Yeah. Which is faster than they hover faster than they drive, and then you can fly on them, which is fucking, it's prime.
That mission we did, and you got to chase the plane, and just when it's like, pull up, and we just went straight up in the sky. It was the best feeling. So cool.
Only problem is it's like, $4.7 million? And I've got almost 2 after last night playing.
Yeah, and I want the jetpack. That is all I want.
Why do you want the jetpack when you used to get the Deluxo?
Yeah, well, I'm very impressed with the Deluxo. That was a nice surprise, actually.
Yeah.
But
that'd be the only car you'd ever need, really.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's just one of those, like, I don't know. I just need more shark cards. I need to get some more.
I wonder how many shark cards they sold when that update hit.
Oh, they would have got so many from that.
Fucking heaps, I reckon.
Yeah, they bloody would have.
So, sorry, mate.
No,
cut you off. You get on a GTA run there. I was just going to take over, fill people in what's going on. So we're not actually recording in the Beard Cave today. We're in Pat's office and we're snuggled up right next to each other in front of this one microphone. Because just can't get my shit together. Come closer, mate. Come closer.
I'm here, mate.
Closer.
Huddle up.
Ah, it's too close.
It's too real.
Our knees are touching. It's too real. So yeah, feeling a bit disheartened today, but
She'll be right.
She'll be right. We'll sort it out. Eventually, it'll cost more fucking money to get it back. Anyway.
Those hard drives aren't cheap.
Oh, fucking mongrel things they are.
I reckon you can get it repaired. We'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah.
Or like they can salvage something, hopefully,
I'll make some phone calls tomorrow. See how we go.
Yep.
Anyway.
Should be interesting.
This week, Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yes.
So we're mixing it up this week. For Drop the Beard, we're doing like a Star Wars themed Drop the Beard this week, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
You got anything else? I'm just feeling real shit ass. I'm just drowning all my sorrows with this beer.
Sink it, mate. Yeah, not much else going on in my realm. Just, the usual. I've just been trying to catch up with all this stuff. And hopefully going to get some time off with work when Bubs comes around.
I love time off.
Yeah, so I've kind of put in for 2 weeks. I just asked about, and looks like it'll all work out smoothly. So
wicked.
She'll be right.
Yeah, I love time off. I've got 10 days off over Christmas. But yeah, if we have an episode next week, I'll announce the time we're taking off and when we'll be back. Yeah. If we come back at all. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. I'm just feeling very disheartened today. Sorry, folks. I'm not my normal chirpy self today.
I'll keep your spirits up, mate.
Come here, mate.
I'm here to rub your back.
Come here, mate. I'll give you something to rub.
Filth.
It's pure filth. Fuck it. We might go drop the beard, eh?
Yeah.
It's time to drop the beard. Drop the beard!
I love it. He's got his lightsaber today.
I brought my lightsaber.
Like the real. That's like the legit.
I got a Force FX lightsaber.
Do it again, mate. Do it again.
Do you want to have a go?
Yes.
Here you go. You're right next to me. I don't have to pass it by. Here we go.
Where's the button?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. And if I move it.
Yeah. And if you hit people, it's like...
Oh, nice. And then you go... Whoa, that is pure sex.
Alright, give it back now. You can't have it.
I need it. How much did that cost you?
It was actually on sale because I remember there was this one shop locally in town. They had it in this glass case for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And they couldn't sell it, so they marked it right down, and then they give it to me for even cheaper. Because every year on my birthday, I try to treat myself with one exceptional gift, and that year in particular, it was this lightsaber.
Luke Skywalker's
lightsaber. Technically it's Anakin's lightsaber.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But yeah, it's
passed down.
Oh, well, on the box it says it's Anakin's lightsaber, but it's Anakin's, Luke's, Rey's lightsaber.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just put that over there. I might play with that again later.
That's awesome. I hope you forget it so I can keep it.
Fuck off! I'll never forget it. It's the best thing ever. Anyway, so Drop the Beard.
Yeah,
Do
boy.
you want to go first in our Star Wars theme Drop the Beard episode?
Doing the Star Wars theme.
What have you got for the people today?
Well, I love Cell Dweller.
Do ya?
I love it.
Never heard that.
So I'm going Cell Dweller, and he did a song called Imperial March, and it's all Star Wars. It's
Vader's theme, Imperial March, but he's done his own techno fucking techno, his own synth spin on it.
Done his thing with it, and it is awesome. So I'm going to add that to the playlist.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
On our Spotify playlist, Drop the Beard playlist on Spotify.
You finally got Spotify now, haven't you?
Yeah, because, what was it the other day? Oh, well, adding to the bad week I've been having, my phone shit itself the other day, completely shat itself.
Yeah.
So I had to go into, the Telstra shop. Australians will know, going into the Telstra shop. You go in there for 10 minutes, you're in there for an hour because no one fucking helps you.
Yeah.
And then, I went in there and I ended up getting a Google Pixel 2, but they had this big deal going on. So, I got, a Google Mini, Google Home Mini, beg your pardon. And I got, a new tablet, a Samsung tablet. It had been out for, 2 days. And they just added it to that deal that day.
Oh, yeah.
It's some big Christmas deal they had going on.
Bonus.
So I got a tablet and I got this Google Home, and she talks to me. I'm like, "Hey Google." She's like, "Yes," or whatever. And then I'm like, "Play some sick beats." And she's like, "I'm playing a playlist called Sick Beats on Spotify."
That's good.
I asked her about you the other day. I was like, "Hey Google." And the lights come on and I was like, "What can you tell me about the artist Patrick Brown?" And she's like, "Sorry, I can't help you with that at the moment."
Not famous enough.
You're not famous enough, mate. You're not famous enough. But you can ask her anything. You can ask her any weird question and that. Catherine and I watched Valerian the other night.
Yeah.
The City of a Thousand Planets.
Yeah, how was it?
Oh, yeah, it was great. I actually really loved it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's not really big on sci-fi. She thinks, high sci-fi is kind of weird. So I was like, "Oh,
sorry, mate.
Drop the lid."
Drop the lid.
Anyway, so yeah, sci-fi's not really her cup of tea, but she'll sit there and watch it with me. And I thought it was great. But once we were done, we were like, "Fuck, this movie looks really expensive." And I'm just like, "I wonder how much it was." And I pulled out my phone, and she's like, "Hey Google," and she's like, "How what was the budget for Valerian?" And she's like, "Didn't." The budget was $160 or $180 million or whatever it was. I was like, "Wow, that's pretty good. I didn't even think of that."
I got to get one of them.
You should get one. They're on sale at the moment, the little ones.
Yeah. I was just looking. There was so there's the Google Home, and then you can actually get another one, which is Google audio or something, and it's what does it do? I have to look it up. But you can get two different devices, and they work together. They're made for each other.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. You can set alarms and shit. Hey Google, play some ocean sounds, and then you just waves crashing and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, "Hey Google, what's the volume setting at the moment?" The volume is currently set to 50%. But then after that, she only does one command at a time. So after she tells you something, you got to say, "Hey Google," or "Okay Google" again, and it's fucking annoying. I'm getting sick of saying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she learns from you. You can change your name, so she calls me by my first name, And I'm like, hey, Google. And then I went into the app and I'm like, I changed my name to Beardmaster. I'm like, hey, Google, what's my name? And she's like, your name is Beardmaster. I'm like, yeah, that's right. In BK.
Spread the word.
I was thinking about having her on to co-host one day if I'm ever by myself.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, Google, what can you tell the people about Star Wars or whatever?
That's a good idea.
Hey, Google, fill us in with all the info.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, what's your favourite movie? I asked her that the other day and she said her favourite movie was The Castle.
Oh, right, really?
She's Australian, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, my Drop the Beard song. I better get back to that.
Oh, yeah.
My Star Wars special Drop the Beard song is The Saga Begins by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, nice.
Maybe Vader someday later. I love Weird Al Yankovic. That song's a lot of fun. It's really hard, like, picking Star Wars themed songs unless you pick, like, you know, a piece of, like, John Williams' score or something like that, you know, the Imperial March or or the Twin Suns or whatever it was. But yeah, I was like, wow, Weird Al. Saga Begins. Yeah. So that's my Drop the Beard. Add that to the Spotify playlist, mate. I can listen to that on my Google Home. Tell her to bump the volume up. Yeah,
that'd be good.
I asked her something the other day. I was like, hey, Google, set, like, volume to 75% or something like that. And she was like, didn't. She's like, thank you for the high five or whatever. She's like, I can't give you one back. And I was like, that's not what I asked you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good work.
These beers are all right.
They're nice. They go down well.
I'm really starting to drown my sorrows, actually.
James Squires, eh?
Yeah.
There you are. Sponsor. We need a sponsor.
Cat piss.
You've never really been a beer man.
Yeah, I'm coming around, though. Around. It's just that I left home and forgot my scotch. So I was just like, Now I'm just sitting here huddled around your desk, and it feels really weird because normally I have this big desk in between me and you know, you guys. Yeah. And now I just feel real weird.
Now we're like shoulder to shoulder.
You just butted up next to me, and it's really awkward.
Nice, you'll be right, mate.
So that's it for Drop the Beard. Drop it!
Yeah.
Star Wars special. Take that.
Oh, he's got me.
Oh, fair on the head.
That is quality, that thing.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's really good.
Yeah, actually, you take the blade out, the saber section, and there's another cap bit you put in there, so like it's all authentic and stuff. And you got to turn it on. It's like glitches. So you can't turn it on without the blade.
How many batteries does that thing take?
What does it take? 3?
Is that all?
Yeah, 3. I don't know if it's triple. I think it's AAA. It's 3 AAAs. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you got to really, like, ram it in there, like, push it in. Because the first time I did it and, like, screwed cap on, they weren't, like, pushed in far enough. So you really got to push it in and then screw the bottom cap on. But, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I think it's going to be a short episode the way we're going. I'm looking at the timer over there.
What have we got, 12 minutes?
That's all right. We're going to the news.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got big news this week, haven't we?
Have we?
Isn't that...
I don't know. Is it on my big news list?
You have definitely got it on there.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's right at the bottom.
Yep.
The biggest news ever. All right, so we'll go to the news. I don't know if it's the news you're thinking about or in your mind or the news I actually is the big news.
Yeah.
I think I know what it is. We'll go straight to it.
Tell me, mate.
We've got a couple of new trailers this week. Patrick Brown.
Yeah.
We'll start at the top. We'll put the weakest one first. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, that new trailer.
What did you think of that?
Yeah, I quite liked it, but didn't wow me as much. I don't know why, but I kind of like the idea of the island is gonna. It's kind of like the dinosaurs' extinction is gonna happen again, but just to the island. Like the volcano is gonna erupt and kill them all, so they're trying to save them or whatever. So I suppose they're gonna do a Noah's Ark kind of thing, are they?
Noah's Ark.
I don't know. Get a big boat and take them off.
Oh Jesus! To quote Immortan Joe from Mad Max Fury Road, I thought it was mediocre.
Did you? How funny.
I don't know, man. Like, we talked about this before, like Jurassic World. Like, I really like Jurassic World. I'm like, because I'm big on nostalgia. I'm like, get on the fucking nostalgia train. I love dinosaurs. It's taking me back. But I watched this one and I'm just like, how many times can you do that T-Rex money shot and, it'd still be effective? Like, it looks great. Like, the CG gets better, like, every movie and that. But, yeah, the plot, they're, like, going to, like, protect the dinosaurs or whatever. Isn't that kind of half the plot of The Lost World?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Because she's going there to, like, research the dinosaurs, to show them in their natural habitat so they can be protected and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
they're protecting them from poachers.
Yeah, like she gets lost and whatever, and then fucking Ian Malcolm goes after her and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Sarah Harding looking for her and stuff. I'm just
That's
like,
right.
haven't they done this plot already?
I did get a little, like, I think, yeah, at the start of the trailer, when it hit that kind of, there was that, it had a slight tone of, like, an original, you know how Jurassic Park, like the first one, it's known for that real terror, kind of scary, horror kind of vibe at the start of it. They had that tone, they had like a little, like in the trailer.
The shoot her scene.
And then it just kind of had that few seconds there, I was like, ooh, maybe this is going to be one of those really cool Jurassic Park movies where it's a bit more frightening and terrifying, but then they just went all full blown action, like, it's just like, okay, they're going
the like comedy beat in the trailer, like Chris Pratt running away, he's like, run, you know, just like, you know, I'll watch it definitely.
I'll
but
definitely watch
apparently the trailer, everything we saw in the trailer is only the first hour of the movie. So
okay.
I'm like, I talked about this with Mark last night. I'm like, didn't they already do this? And they've done this plot already in the Lost World? And he's like, yeah, they already did. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. But yeah, those T-Rex money shots. There's only so many times you can do the same thing over and over, and it still have that impact. For me, it's starting to wane a bit.
I don't want it to be too Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, I like it.
Oh, mate, it'll be so Hollywood. What are you talking about? There'll be toys and merchandise. And it's a wonder you won't get a phone call. They're like, hey, can you do some dinosaurs on our fucking lunchboxes for us? Hey.
What else you got, mate? What else is news?
Well, I told you the other day, they had the new trailer out for Altered Carbon on Netflix.
Oh, that looked
really good. Show you that trailer? The most expensive Netflix series ever made to date.
Unreal.
Drops in February. It looks really good. Like I
was really impressed.
Yeah, the trailers they did, the 3 trailers they sort of set up, like the world and everything. Like people in the future, when people die, their consciousnesses are consciousnesses. Is it plural? Anyway, they're able to put their consciousness into another body or in a skin or sleeve. Is it skin or a sleeve? I think it's a sleeve. So they put their brain in a new body. They pretty much put all their consciousness into a new body.
I was wondering how that works. So is it someone else who's died and a body is there ready, or is it a newborn?
I don't know if they
baby
create bodies. Maybe they just create.
It could be a cloned body.
Yeah, it'd be like a cloning process or something like that. Maybe
that's the only thing I was wondering.
They're like, hey, when you die, like come and pick what body you want to be jacked into.
Avatar.
Fucking hell.
What avatar do you want?
What avatar do you want? Can I get the giant 8-foot blue one, please?
I want to look like The Rock.
The Rock. No, it looks pretty good. And the current trailer, it sets up the story like the main guy, like he's lived for like 300 and something years, and he's the most richest man in like the universe or whatever, like across the solar system or whatever. And he's murdered, and then he gets jacked or sleeved into another body. And then he hires Joel Kinnaman to solve his murder. Because technically, I imagine in this show, the process of sleeving is quite expensive. And I imagine not everyone can do it. So obviously murder is still illegal, obviously. So even if he has been murdered, but even if he's the richest guy and he can just jack into another body, technically he's been previously murdered. So like he's alive the next day, and then he hires Joel Kinnaman to solve his murder.
I love it. I reckon that's just a great concept all around. Like,
fuck, it looks expensive.
It kind of makes the stakes a bit more too, because he's been alive for like 350 years or something. And it's like, man, that'd be such a shame if you lost that. If for some reason you were murdered and you couldn't get backed up into another body or something, like, then it's just like, whoa, that's like all those years down the drain. Yeah.
It looks quite good. Obviously, with these high sci-fi futuristic things, it looks very Blade Runner. Yeah. The world looks. I mean, what future sci-fi Earth doesn't look like Blade Runner? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're really just they really trying to follow that to maybe they're sticking with it, you know, so a lot of the Blade Runner fans will merge with this movie as well, and it's like, you know...
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
maybe.
It's just an easy kind of blend for them. And
But it looks really good, so, and I think that's the beginning of February.
Yeah, okay.
That hits on Netflix, so yeah, looking forward to that.
Oh, that's pretty soon.
That should be pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
And the biggest trailer of the week... Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes!
Patrick Brown, I'm just going to be quiet, you just talk. Go on.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. Obviously everyone knows I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and...
No, Patrick, we didn't know that.
Oh, absolutely loved it. So, like, I just... Like, the movements and the way he's, like... The animation style is perfect.
It's really unique.
Stands
out. And
it's
really different. And it's really cool. I really like the scene where Miles is bouncing off the cabs and stuff.
Yes.
And as soon as he like lands on the cab, it like flashes like this big pop art across the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the look of the movement, because it is a CG movie, like a computer generated movie, but they've created it in a way that it almost looks like stop motion animation.
Yeah, it's a mix between what looks like 2D and 3D.
Yeah, so it almost like it's a totally 3D movie, but the way they animated it looks like it's stop motion, so it has that tiny little like jarring and that to it.
Yeah, when you get into the details, like that close up of Miles's face. And it's just so simple, and it's made of like little dots and like what do they call it? Like color halftone kind of splatter, kind of lighting effects and stuff like that, and just lines and shapes. It's really cool.
I think the plot is that obviously Miles is the main character, and he is in New York and whatever, and Peter Parker's dead in his world. But, he ends up dropping into another dimension, like an alternate New York, where Peter Parker is still alive, and there are other Spider-Men or Spider-People living in this timeline. So I imagine it's the story will be whether Miles tries to get back to his own time. I doubt it. I reckon he'll probably end up staying there, because then it'll sort of integrate them.
So who did we see in the trailer? We saw Prowler on the motorbike.
We saw Prowler on the motorcycle. We saw Miles Morales, who's the main character. We saw Peter Parker at the end.
And I'm pretty sure that little spider that trickled down the back of the very last few seconds, it crawls down the side of the wall. That looks like it might be a Spider-Man 2099 little drone thing or something. I don't know, but it just had those colours on it, and it looked like that.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick.
But I have no idea.
I'm actually pretty excited for this. Something different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think it's just going to stand out from all the other kind of animations that have been done before. It's got its own kind of style, and
I'd really like to know what the budget was on this movie. Maybe they'll have to ask Google when I get home. Maybe she can tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, do that.
I think that's it for trailers. We didn't really get anything else. What's next on the agenda? Square Enix announced a new Tomb Raider game. So a third Tomb Raider game being released. Where the fuck?
Okay, so the sequel to the others?
Yeah, they posted a tweet the other day announcing the game. It says, Square Enix is excited to share some big news with you next year. Honestly, we wish we could share it with you right now, but we're taking a new approach this time. A new Tomb Raider game is coming. Driven by our goal of putting our fans first, we want you to know that it won't be very long between the official reveal and when you can play. Our journey together will begin with a major event in 2018. We simply can't wait to take you on Lara Croft's defining adventure. So it looks like they're going to do like a Fallout 4. So you know how Fallout 4 was announced and then it was out like 5 months later?
Yeah. So is that the reveal? So does that mean it's going to come quite soon?
I don't think so. No. They've just announced that it's coming.
From a trailer.
I think, they'll reveal it soon, like a trailer and everything, and then hopefully maybe less than 6 months after that, we'll have it. We'll have it in our mix.
I like it when games do that, because
I fucking hate massive windows.
There's nothing worse.
Like, it's bad enough waiting for Red Dead 2.
Yeah, look at Red Dead. That trailer came out like a year and a half ago, didn't it? Or a year ago.
I feel myself slowly dying on the inside while I wait for Red Dead 2.
We're still waiting. When's that? Like mid next year or something?
Well, actually, funny you should say that. I was on, because I like to peruse local Australian websites and I like compare prices and shit. Because I'm thrifty. I like to compare prices before I actually buy shit. And I was on a website and they had Red Dead 2 there and I checked it out. I just clicked on it. And they had the release date there. They had a release date of 31st of, what was it, March? No, May. 31st of May, 2018. So it'd be about, 5-6 months.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so it'd be just before summer in the US.
That'd be good,
just on summer in the US. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it seems legit. That's what I always thought the release window would be around that time.
How good was that yesterday when we got those revolvers in GTA 5?
Oh, yeah, we, the Rockstar announced what was it? The double repeating revolver.
Yeah.
Or the double action revolver treasure hunt. It's like his gold plated revolver and that. And yeah, you got this photo emailed to you and you had to like go and find this note at this location to start the treasure hunt. And then you just had to visit 3 different points and then you end up getting the gun. And then they had this headshot challenge which you had to do in free roam. So you pretty much just had to get 50 headshots with that gun. And you would receive $250,000 and then unlock a variant of that gun in Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes out.
And that was just 50 headshots of any, like, random person walking the street.
Yeah, just in free roam. Like, it didn't have to be, like, other players.
We just did gang attacks and...
we did it last night. I think it only took us probably, 15, 20 minutes tops.
Not long at all. And that was good, I actually really enjoyed that treasure hunt. It was kind of cool to go and see all the little spots and you have to try and find the note and then I find this spot and there's like a dead body and a shovel there or something.
Yeah. And you go in the cave and there's a guy with his face blown off. And,
yeah, it was really cool. And then, the revolver is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's got some punch to it, definitely.
And then you do that little animation that you showed
me.
You
got this cool animation. When you put it away, you spin it on your finger and then you put it away.
And there's little ties there that you can tell touches to Red Dead 2. There's probably that same kind of animation. There's also like...
the music cues and that when you find the clues and stuff.
You can tell that's going to be the same tones, the music tones in the game. Oh. And even the text that pops up is all Red Dead font.
It's all styled that way,
Yeah, so it's so cool. They're kind of really... giving us a little teaser there.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
He loves Red Dead.
And not because you got the air conditioning going in here.
You love a good Western.
I love Red Dead.
He wants to skin all those animals.
When Red Dead comes out, I'll never play GTA again. I'll uninstall that shit. If you try to get me to play GTA, I'm just like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
I got horses to fucking shoot or whatever. Hopefully I can shoot horses. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Seeing as we're on the Star Wars bandwagon today, may the force be with you, Patrick Graham. The Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off film is reportedly beginning production in January 2019.
Oh, yeah?
So it's going to start... Apparently, the rumour is it's going to start filming at Pinewood Studios in the UK in January 2019. But there's no word on whether Ewan McGregor is going to be back as Obi-Wan yet. He'd have to. People have only been asking him about it for like the last 10 years or whatever. And then since Disney bought... Lucasfilm, ever since they've done that, they're like, you're going to come back as fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's the only movie I want to see.
You can pretty much guarantee that he'll be back because, I mean, look at what they did with Harrison Ford. They're the biggest stars, like him and...
the biggest star.
Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, they all came back. They're the originals. They'll have to get him back for that,
That'd be great, I'd love to see... fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi's Tatooine adventures.
He's a good age now too for it. Like
he's
right in the middle there. He's not too old, but it's like the area where we haven't seen yet.
When did Revenge of the Sith come out? What was it, like 2005 or something like that?
Oh, I can't remember.
So it's been at least a decade. It's been like 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Get on that. Fucking love Obi-Wan Kenobi. Give me that movie. I want that movie.
Yeah.
And there's also a rumour that the Boba Fett...
Bilbo.
The Bilbo Fett.
Bilbo Baggins.
The Boba Fett solo movie is back in development, apparently.
Okay.
The rumour out there is that Simon Kinberg, who produced, like, pretty much all the X-Men movies, and he's currently directing the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie, has been brought on to develop it. That's the rumour. That's another rumour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All these Star Wars movies, man. There's so many of them. So many.
Yeah. I can't wait to get into those spoilers, mate.
Nah! Settle down. Settle down with your spoilers.
Oh.
Alright, and the final bit of news, I don't know if you heard of this, it's not very important, but Disney bought 21st Century Fox for $52.4 billion this week.
Oh, yeah, it's not too bad.
The entire, everything that they've bought, apparently, it's $66 billion worth of stuff. So apparently they've bought all their IPs and that for the 52.4, but apparently then they've taken on $13 billion worth of debt as well. So I'm just like, okay, so you take on, you buy all these IPs. So there's Avatar, Die Hard, Alien, Predator, not to mention X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool.
I didn't even think of that.
There are all these IPs and that they've taken on. Okay, how long would it take for Disney to break even, to make back that $52 billion that they spent? Okay, so Avatar's coming out. That'll make what? Maybe $1.5 billion. Okay, we're on the way. Every bloody so I don't know, man. Fantastic Four, X-Men, Wolverine,
and even Firefly. Now they got
the
rights
Firefly,
to that. So hopefully they do something with that.
And they've had a bit of a working relationship with Joss Whedon too because of the Avengers movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Very.
And wasn't there news about Deadpool? Apparently, Disney have confirmed they're going to keep the R-rated.
Yeah, Bob Iger. Somebody asked Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, about Deadpool, what's the go with Deadpool, R-rated movies. And, he feels confident in continuing, he called it the Marvel R brand.
Yeah.
He said, I feel confident that we could, continue it, but we just have to make people well enough aware before it comes out. Because I talked about this with Mark last night when we were playing GTA.
Yeah.
Mum and dad taking, the little tackers and that, thinking they're going to go see, the next Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever.
Yeah.
Taking to see Deadpool, and there's dick jokes and, violence and all this sort of stuff. They're like, this isn't what we signed up for. So, but I always said, the big cash cow that Deadpool was, what did that make? Nearly 800 million or whatever worldwide. Yeah. You'd be stupid to turn around and make that PG, and offend people, offend the fans of that
Deadpool's
franchise.
Basically like Trevor Phillips from GTA in a Deadpool suit.
Back to GTA. Jeez, we're off GTA now, mate. We're getting away from it. You can play the Doomsday Heist later.
I love it. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I know you. How many shark cards have you bought today?
None yet. I'm tempted.
Okay. So yeah, $52.4 billion. I don't even know what $52.4 billion would look like.
Are you actually happy that that's actually happened now?
Well, as with anything, there are pros and cons, because it's great that, the main thing we wanted was for Marvel, for Disney and Marvel to get back Fantastic Four, X-Men, all that sort of stuff.
Everything they own.
And integrate them into the MCU.
Yeah.
The other problem is that, they've just bought out one other company, one other form of competition. So, there's one less company out there to compete with. So there's going to be less opportunity for, original films. Because Disney are going to be churning out, they're churning out Star Wars films, like they're going out of fashion. They're churning out Marvel movies. They've got all this other IP and that. They're going to, work on this. They got Avatar. They got all these Avatar movies in the works and that now.
Yeah.
They're going to make all these movies. But what about, those little, indie movies, or those little, say a little 20th Century Fox movie, a movie like Personal Shopper or something like that. Do you really see Disney forking out, a couple of $1 million for a little director to come in with this, weird ghost story script? He's got to, we'll give you $5 million to make that movie.
Yeah.
Do you see? Because, there's pros and cons about it. It's great that all that stuff's going to be back and it's going to be integrated, because we've got the opportunity to finally see Wolverine versus the Hulk.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. And all that sort of stuff. But it's going to make it hard.
Yeah.
Disney are going to make some. They're going to make some fat cash. They've got the Simpsons now. They got the X-Files. We got the X-Files coming out in February. What's going to happen to the Simpsons now? What's going to happen? Yeah. They've got a 60% stake in Hulu now, so they've got the major sort of ownership in Hulu. So what's going to happen with their Disney streaming service they were talking about? Because they've got Hulu now, they've already sort of got the brand, and the people that are already signed up to that service, they're just like, okay, we're just going to rebrand this and we're just going to dump all our shit in this because people are already signed up to it and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what they're going to do? Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's going to be weird.
You've got connections. Send some emails. Ask some questions. We need to know.
Yeah.
I think that's all I've really got on my list. And
there was
oh, look out!
Totally random.
Pat's got something. Tell me.
I just remembered the last bit of news. Wasn't there? I don't know if it happened last week or whatever, but that rumor about John Hamm could possibly be up for the role of Ben Affleck's Batman.
Oh yeah. That's
thought that might be worth a mention.
Well, I didn't really put that. I could have put that on there, but I didn't.
He'd be awesome.
Apparently, Matt Reeves in his Batman movie doesn't want Ben Affleck to star as Batman in his movie. Apparently, this Batman movie is going to be separate from the DC extended universe, so all the connected DC movies. And, apparently John Hamm is he's been chasing after Matt Reeves for the last couple of months. He's really trying to get his foot in the door because he wants to be Batman.
He'd be great Batman.
I like that idea. I think he'd be a fucking great Bruce Wayne.
Actually, yeah, I was just going to say, I think he'd be better Bruce Wayne. I don't know how he'd go in all the action scenes and that, but he's probably quite capable.
I think he'd do fine, but the only thing is, I'm not,
Think he'll beef up?
His age.
Yeah.
Because Ben Affleck's he's in his 40s or whatever, but he's still pretty young. I think John Hamm's a couple of years older.
Yeah.
But
he's about 5 years older, I think, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, 3 or 4, something like that. It's not much. But, it's just, he's just, what happens if he does this Batman film and it takes off and they want to do another 2?
And then he's near 55.
Yeah.
Going on 60.
But then Matt Reeves does Christopher Nolan. He's like, nah, he's like, the next, I'll make a Batman movie, but it'll be in another 3 or 4 years. And then, okay, we want to do another one 4 years after that. So, okay, John Hamm's nearly pushing 60 now. And he's still playing Batman.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the only sort of, detracting thing that I would
actually
see.
He's got the look, but I would really prefer a younger, a guy in his 30s or so.
Gyllenhaal. I think he'd be great. I don't think you're giving him his due course.
I still do see him more of a Joker though. He's got that face of the Joker kind of, and he's done some creepy, in Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
those kind of movies like that. He does have that really creepy kind of gaunt. He can pull that off. He'd do a great Joker.
Him and Heath playing the Joker.
I can't picture him as a Bruce Wayne and a Batman, but I know acting wise, he would nail it. He's definitely he's the best actor. Really, really good. So he'd pull anything off. I reckon he could transform himself pretty well.
Can I finish my joke now?
Yes.
So Heath Ledger played the Joker.
Yeah.
And if Jake Gyllenhaal plays the Joker, Jokeback Mountain.
Oh yeah, shit.
Hey. Fuck, I'm depressed. That's it. The show's over. That's it. We're all done. We'll never be back. Thanks to everyone who's listened.
The finale.
We'll see you. Well, maybe we'll rebrand the show. Got to start from scratch now. Not really. We'll be right.
I'll keep it together, mate.
We've taken 3 steps back.
I'll do it all. Hello, welcome to the Bearded Geeks. This is I am the Beard Master.
There's the Beard Master. Yeah, right. Not anymore. You're not. So we might go to Star Wars.
Yes.
The Last Jedi.
Yep. Sounds good.
We're definitely going to do spoilers, but we definitely, because we've had this before, people say that, sometimes you actually do spoilers in the non-spoiler section. We're accidentally, but it's too good to not talk about. So we'll try our very best to keep things spoiler-free. And then we might rate the movie, and then we'll jump into the spoiler section. So everyone who listens to non-spoilers know what we would give it out of 5 big bushy beards.
I like that. The bushy beards.
All right, settle down, you. Come on. So, I watched it the other night on opening, and the cinema was packed. And you watched it when you were in Melbourne.
I was supposed to see it with you, and I bailed on our mandate.
He fucking bailed on me. Fucking bailed on me. At the 11th,
a bit dark on me.
At the 11th fucking hour, he texts me, and he's like, oh, now I can't come. Oh, work. I'm like,
Don't worry,
sounds like a load of shit.
I was so
I was excited. We're going to get shock tops and everything. I didn't even buy anything to eat. I was too depressed. I've been so depressed this week.
We needed it. No, work got in the way again. Priorities.
Priorities. Fuck work. Fuck work. Star Wars.
And I went and saw it in Melbourne the next
in 3D
day or so. Yeah, in 3D.
You had you told me you had a shit 3D experience.
I would have actually preferred to see it in 2D, and it's not really the version, like, not the kind of movie you would really want to see in 3D anyway. I don't think it's not made, like, it's made for it, but it's yeah. I don't know if it was just my screening, but it was very dark. The entire screen was just, I felt like...
That's just not the tone of the movie.
No, I felt like it was just, it was like, it's really hard to see everything. It was quite dark. I don't know why.
3D.
As soon as I put the shades on, it was just like putting sunglasses on in a cinema.
I wear my sunglasses on.
But yeah.
Did you have lightsabers coming at you? Like...
No, I didn't notice it, to be honest. Like, the 3D effect wore off after a while.
It sort of just blends into normalcy.
You kind of forget.
Yeah, it does that. Even if it's like, it's only, I've noticed, like, sci-fi films are the best. Like, we saw Prometheus in 3D.
Yeah.
Where they have, like, the big LED, like, 3D screens and shit. I'm like, whoa, I could just, like, reach out and put my hand through it. It's that fucking good.
And, like, landscapes and, like, big wide angles and stuff,
I had one of those screenings where, when the opening crawl starts, and a long time ago, and it's like, and then everyone's like, cheering. Really? Like, no one cheered. I expected cheers, but no one cheered. And then right at the end, the guy who was with me, who I gave your ticket to, right at the end, the movie ended, and I was like, and I elbowed him, and I'm like, just wait, people are going to start clapping. And then it was just like, and there was like 6 people that started clapping. I was like, see, I told you. We're not that town. We're not that town where we like clap at movies and stuff. Especially if it's like a brand new movie. Like when we went and saw The Big Lebowski, though, it was a movie that, is nearly 20 years old that everyone's seen.
That's the best.
It's real laid back. Everyone's like quoting at the screen and cheering. And then at the end, everyone claps and whatever. It's a great time. But when you go see like a brand new movie in like a chain cinema, you just want to sit there and watch it and get your $20 worth, because it's not cheap to go to fucking movies.
No.
And no one gives us free tickets. Like, we've been around for nearly 12 months and no one's offered us any free tickets yet. Village, that'd be great. Thanks very much.
Basically the price of a Blu-ray now.
Oh, fucking hell. It ain't cheap.
No.
So, what did you think? What were your first impressions of Star Wars: The Last Jedi? Because we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago. You're not, a big diehard Star Wars fan, but the last couple of years, like since The Force Awakens and Rogue One and that, you go to these movies and you do enjoy them and stuff. And, you got a bit of love and respect for what's come previously, but
over my life, I've seen all of them. So as they'd come, all the Episode 1 and all the others from the early 2000s, and I didn't really, I rewatched all the originals from like the 70s and 80s. Only like a few years back now, 5 years ago or something, I rewatched them all to get up to speed. But I'm not a diehard fan. I think I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more now. I'm starting to become more of a big fan. Yeah. Because they are enjoyable movies. I do. For sure. I like everything. And I love the fact that they bring all the original cast back in. And that's perfect. They have to do that, I think.
You're just waiting for Jackie Chan to show up in a Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
Where's Jackie Chan?
But overall,
Space martial arts.
For this one, I think I was expecting more. I thought it was going to be a bit better.
Ooh.
But I did enjoy it. I finished it and I was like, yep.
Controversy.
I really did enjoy that, but I actually thought it was going to be a lot better. I think it was just very... it dragged out a lot in a lot of parts. It got boring in bits, and then
the second act, there were some pacing issues with the second act. Definitely.
Yeah.
I've got a big spiel for the spoiler section, but it's going to be really tough to sort of dance around that at the moment.
Yeah.
But we'll do our best.
Yep.
When I went and saw it, I love Star Wars, man, and like I saw The Force Awakens.
You're a big fan.
Yeah, I love Star Wars. I saw The Force Awakens. I think I only saw it twice.
Yep.
Maybe 3 times. I think it was twice. I loved it. I really got the big, like, J.J. Abrams, like, nostalgia kick out of it, because like I said earlier, I'm fucking big on nostalgia, bro. Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed The Force Awakens. Not perfect. There were a few things that were sort of niggling at me a little bit, sort of in the back of my mind, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoy rewatching that movie and that as well. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi, as with any sequel since The Empire Strikes Back, it always seems like it has to be darker. It has to be darker in tone, or whatever. The sort of plot, there's a plot device in here that really sort of took me back a bit, because I'm used to it in Star Wars movies. Like, first of all, I didn't hate the movie. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was just a bit jarring for me because it wasn't what I totally expected.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't what I expected. I just went in to see like a Star Wars movie, like the last 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then I got in and this is like very different. It's still Star Wars, but there are a lot of different like creative choices in that made. It's like Rian Johnson's just come in and put his fucking stamp on it. He's like, boom, this is my Star Wars movie,
I found it a good mix between Force Awakens and Rogue One. Like, how Rogue One was very serious.
It was a bit bleaker.
Yeah, a lot bleaker as well. But then
Force
Awakens was a lot more lighthearted, and it was more
happy-go-lucky Star Wars going on missions and no one's really getting killed.
A lot of wise cracks and jokes.
Yeah, a bit of jokes.
So it was like right in the middle. It was both of those kind of tones. That's what I thought.
What did you be mindful of spoilers, but just in general, what did you think of Mark Hamill?
I loved seeing him in there, and I thought that's great to see him as Luke Skywalker again. But honestly, I thought people probably hate me a lot for it, but here we go. But his acting is just a little. He's not up like.
Is a little bit too much grumpy old man.
It was more his. I think it was more his actual acting was like
his delivery.
He's not like. It's hard to explain.
This is so controversial.
I don't want to say it, but it's not like...
I can see all the thumbs down on this video happening right now.
It's not B-grade acting at all. It's not the best. Like it was right in the middle of those.
All right, personally, you had issues.
But
with
he was great
acting.
to see. I would rather have him in there as him because he is the original, and it's like he was great, but it was just like. A few parts in there I thought were a bit too, what do you call them, like theatre kind of play, kind of vibe about it. You know what I mean? It was a bit too played up, like he overacted.
Like he just like overdid it.
Is that how you call it? Yeah, he overacted.
Yeah, okay.
Like the way he spoke and stuff, it's almost, it was going towards almost some, I don't know. But
yeah.
Don't listen to me. Don't
fucking listen to me. We don't know what he's talking about.
But I loved it. I loved him in there, and he was great in those scenes, and it was especially toward the end there. I can't spoil it, but it was really, really cool to see him do his thing.
Yeah, as I was saying about plot and that, like Force Awakens and whatever, there's a lot of happy-go-luckiness, and lots of people getting shot at and stuff, but nobody really sort of in mortal danger.
No,
except for Han Solo. And there's lots of jet setting to different planets and stuff, but this was very. The plot for this, the sort of main plot beats, I won't tell it because I'll save that for the spoiler section, but, everything else around the movie, all the subplots, all the, like, side stories and that, was all, like, contained around the main sort of, like, plot beat that they decided to use. And that particular plot beat was very, it sort of put them in a corner, sort of pigeonholed them a bit. And it sort of slowed things right down, It's hard to tell you without using spoilers. On the whole, though, I really liked this movie. It was beautifully shot. Like, it was masterfully made. Like, it looks amazing. It sounds amazing. The practical effects and the CG effects were all really good. We'll go into Porgs. What did you think of Porgs?
Yeah, those little bird things. Yeah, I keep forgetting what they are.
Little bird, like penguin-looking things.
Yeah, they were cool. They had their moment, and they really stood out to... Like, there was a couple of really good, clever moments there, which were quite funny. I liked them. I thought it was really good.
I really liked the Porgs. I got a couple of, like, really good, genuine laughs out of the Porgs.
Yeah.
Once you see the movie, though, like, you see the trailers and stuff, and you're like, Porgs, what are Porgs? Is this just, like, a merchandising thing? Once you watch the movie, you're just like, this movie could have easily been made without Porgs. They really serve no purpose whatsoever, other than being just, like, a massive, like, merchandise. Like,
same with the Crystal Fox things as well. They were just for looks as well.
They were native to that planet, though. I like that. I like that aspect.
I did like them. I think it would have been a little more boring without these two creatures in them. I think they needed to put more fun little creatures in. So I don't think they were useless. I think it was, and a lot of people probably say they're for merchandise things, which they probably will do a lot for. But I think it's great to see them and little creatures like that in there, and just crystal foxes were great looking because
they go to so many planets like in this franchise.
Yeah,
you're expected to run into like new animals and aliens and stuff, and
I love
all
that.
these planets. And I thought the porgs were great. I love them actually.
Any sci-fi movie, I expect to see great like all these unusual life forms. And I think it's needed. You
should watch Valerian then. You should give that a go.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it'd be really good.
This is really tough. Do you want to go into spoilers?
Yes.
Because we could probably talk spoilers for about half an hour.
Let's do it.
What would you give this out of 5, just really quick?
At 5. All right. I actually don't think I would give it... I was leaning towards 4, but I think I'd actually... Can I go 3.5? That's what I would give
fine.
it.
That's fine. 3.5's fine.
I think I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. Personally, yeah.
I was thinking the same. I was thinking maybe a 3, but then I was like 3.5, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to break my rule today. I'll give it a 4.
Oh, okay.
I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Yep.
Spoilers.
Let's do it.
All right. Now, this plot device that we're talking about is the rebels, the Rebel Alliance or whatever. They're on all these ships and that, and they're looking for a new base. They're trying to find a new base when the First Order arrives, and they attack them, okay? And they're trying to flee, but they're running out of fuel. Like, the rebels are running out of fuel, and they've only got so much fuel left. If they do another jump, then they're going to be out of fuel, and they're going to be sitting ducks, okay? Because the First Order have been tracking them, like in hyperspace and stuff.
Which has never been done
before. Why didn't they not do this in the last movie?
And it freaked them out.
A lot. Like, how are they tracking us? Anyway, so...
That's pretty much the whole...
It was literally just like...
movie, wasn't it?
It was the slowest chase movie you've ever seen. Because
they're like slowly going and like...
Yeah, the First Order fleet was just that bit slower that they were just out of range of being able to destroy these ships.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we've only got 20 hours left of fuel. So then you're like, you're tied to like, you're constrained to this. So pretty much like Finn's subplot for the movie, his side mission was that he had to go, I can't remember what the casino planet was called. It was called Cato Bait or something like that, or or something like that. Anyway, it was it looked like the most out of place Star Wars planet you'd ever seen, because you normally watch a Star Wars movie and all these planets, they're all run down and they're dusty and dirty and whatever. But this was like going to like a high-end casino and all these these aliens are all really snappy dressed and they're playing casino games and roulette, space roulette and all this sort of stuff. So they go to this planet to look for a code breaker because this tracker is behind a door which they can't get through, which only the greatest code breaker in the universe can unlock and get through. And I'm like, haven't like all the droids been unlocking all these unlockable doors in the franchise ever since? I'm just like, kind of, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
I'm like, were there no droids on the ship because R2-D2 and BB-8 aren't around? I'm just like, okay, so we can't do it. So they go to this planet to find this code breaker, and then that whole side thing on that planet, it kind of really like slowed it down. I kind of felt like this movie was probably 15-20 minutes too long.
Yeah.
So like all that horse stuff and that they did, they could have cut some of that, but a lot of that stuff on that planet was actually pivotal to the end of the movie. Yeah. Which we can't really like bag too much.
It did feel very long. Like, when you can watch a long 2.5 hour movie, but if it's enjoyable, that flies by and you're like, oh, I could have watched more. But this one, for some reason, it was very slow and it really felt like a 2.5 hour movie or 3 hours.
And like Rey, where she's on the planet with Luke, like, okay, so she's on this planet, like, is she technically only on there? Because this happens, like, all the fleet stuff and that, like, there's no real time frame or anything, but you probably say it's maybe 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So is that saying that Rey was on the planet with Luke for only like 2 or 3 days, and she was like training to be a Jedi and stuff?
Yeah, true. I didn't think of that.
You know, there's just like this is like plot issues. You know.
You know, one thing that bothered me with the movie.
I've got this big spiel I've been practicing for days.
Yeah. One of my main ones was look again. I don't know if it was the cinema that I was watching it in. You know how I said it was really dark. But also the scenes that were shot, if you think about it, the majority of like nearly every scene was shot in a dark setting, like either space with just black, or it was nighttime scenes, like the casino was set in a nighttime scene. That could have been an opportunity to have a nice lit up planet, like a nice, you know. But like even on the island was with Rey and Skywalker was very like moody, like dark and dimmed.
It was overcast as fuck.
And there was caves and everything, and
so many caves.
The only lit up part of the entire movie that was kind of bright and was the end where they're in like the red sand
in Crate.
Yeah,
and when shit was on fire.
It just made every scene kind of hard to see what the hell's going on. I would have loved to see more details and a bit more vibrance.
I think that was just your cinema by the sound of it.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I bet you should have come with me.
It was shocking, yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it was that, but.
Alright, I'm going to go on my rant.
Yeah, go.
Are you ready?
Go for it, mate.
I've been thinking about this for days.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this movie, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, and Rey, they kind of had this back and forth, excuse me, where they keep talking about where Kylo Ren's like, you have to kill your past. You have to kill your past. It's the only way you like move forward. You know, like take the bull by the horns. You know, kill our past, and we'll take the bull by the horns, and it'll be ours. You know, we can make it whatever we want it to be. You know, that's kind of like this underlying theme, sort of in the movie, sort of like forgetting the past or destroying the past and pushing forward and sort of forging your own path, which is really interesting because in the Star Wars franchise, since The Force Awakens come out. You know, it ends on this big cliffhanger of Rey on the island with Luke, and she's holding out this lightsaber to Luke, and he sort of looks at it, and it's this real, like, dramatic, like, moody thing. You're like, oh, I'm nearly shedding tears and shit because it's Luke Skywalker, and you're like, fuck, what's going to happen? He's so emotional. It's his father's lightsaber. It's his lightsaber. Everything he's been through, you know, with that weapon and stuff.
All the movies we've seen, like, been through with him. And that lightsaber.
Yeah, and it
means
like
a lot to us
and
too.
Building up, and then at the same time, there's Snoke. There's like who's bloody like Snoke and stuff. Like who is he? And there's all these fan theories and stuff. And like is he this? Is he that? You know, is he like a former Jedi? Is he a former like Imperial officer? And that he's strong with the Force. And then you've got Rey's parents as well. You're like, who are Rey's parents? Who are Rey's parents? Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi? Is she Obi-Wan Kenobi's grandchild? Is she this? Is it people who were training at Luke's new Jedi Academy or whatever before Kylo Ren went apeshit and fucking murdered everybody?
Yeah.
First of all, when the movie starts, you get back to that point with Rey, and Luke takes the lightsaber, and you think it's going to be this big, beautiful moment, and then he just tosses it over his shoulder.
I fucking hated that.
And he stomped off. And I'm like...
Tossed it down the bloody cliff or something.
And I'm just like half of me was like, really? You're going to do that? Like, and then the other half with me is just like, this is the director like subverting everyone's expectations because this has been building for years. Yeah. And he's just turned around and he's like, nah, he's like, we're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to have him throw it over his shoulder, and he stomps off like he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Same with Snoke. Like, there was
the character, hasn't it?
Like, I wouldn't say that, but the scenes with Snoke and that as well, because there's this great scene like at the end of the second act, which is, we'll talk about this more in a minute, but you know, Kylo Ren kills Snoke. Like, Snoke gets zapped in half with a lightsaber and he's dead. And you're like, oh fuck, is that it? Like, people have been asking for years, like, who is Snoke? It would have been great if, you know, we could find out who he is and stuff.
Bit of a battle scene or something at least.
And then Kylo Ren, he's like, you know about your parents. He's like, you've always known. Your parents were just a pair of junkers and they sold you to pay for the next round of drinks. And I'm just like, this is the director, like, subverting everyone's expectations, because everyone's expecting to, you know, this big dramatic moment when Luke gets his lightsaber back. Everyone's expecting this big epic backstory of like who Snoke is, like who's this dark, you know, like Sith Lord, or, you know,
it's all fobbed off.
And then like there's this big reveal with Rey's parents, and then he's like, you know what, none of that's important. He's like, and it sort of ties back into that theme of like destroying your past and like forging your own future. Because none of that matters.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter, like, Luke's lightsaber. Like, he doesn't care about it. That's pretty much Rey's lightsaber now. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter about Snoke. He's sort of the old crowd, and, you know, they got to get rid of him and forge their own path. Same with Rey's parents. Like, it doesn't matter because that's all in the past, and she's on this new path, and she's got to, like, forge her own way. And I just thought, you know, one, it was great to, like, subvert people's expectations and say, you know what, none of this actually really matters. It's not important. You know, this new trilogy, it's about Rey and Kylo Ren. It's their story, you know, and Finn and Poe and all these other people, you know, they're supporting characters and they play a role, but it's not really their story. You know, it's Rey's story, you know, the light side of the Force, and then it's Ben's, you know, the dark side of the Force, you know, these two opposites, and, you know, how, you know, these new, like, both sides of the Force, how going to go. Like, the old Jedi's gone. Like, you know, none of that works anymore. We have to, like, create, like, a new Jedi, like, the new Force, you know, take the Force in a new direction.
But then they're kind of disrespecting all the old, like, what has made Star Wars.
Yeah,
all the original cast,
it's kind of
aren't they?
It's kind of a little bit of a slap in the face, but then at the same time, like, it's kind of fine. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It depends, like, where you sit on the fence. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one part I didn't mind all the rest, because I know they're trying to take it in a new direction, but when he threw the lightsaber over his shoulder, I was like, I thought it was, that's just for a cheap joke, like, because it was supposed to be a bit of a laugh. Oh, he's just going to chuck it over his shoulder and walk away. And
he stomps off.
And I was like, that's not even funny. It's like, it's
like kind of disrespectful.
They just shat on that moment. It's just like, you could have done something a bit better about it.
And a lot of these characters that sort of, they brought in The Force Awakens, like, J.J. Abrams sort of created, like, Snoke, Maz Kanata, and, like, Phasma, like, pretty much all of them, like, Snoke gets killed off, like, halfway through the movie. You don't find out anything about him.
No.
Maz Kanata is kind of just, like, it's just kind of, like, a little service to, like, JJ and, like, what's come before, and she's in, like, one, maybe 60-second scene, like, in a hologram. And then, what was the third thing I said? Snoke, Maz, and Phasma. And Phasma gets killed off, like, pretty much straight away.
Is she the one in the chrome?
Yeah, Chrome Stormtrooper in that.
Yeah, I liked her too, and it was.
And she pretty much gets killed off straight away.
I actually remember in The Force Awakens because I actually thought she got killed off in that, but you didn't see it because they talked about putting her in a trash compartment or something.
In the trash compactor, yeah.
And in the trash compactor, I was like, oh, so is she just like dead now and gone? And yeah, but no, that was a bit cheap too. Like, don't kill your characters off when you've just built them and made them into something kind of cool. It's like. Keep him around. Maybe they will bring him back, but
who knows? Probably not.
she'll be all battle damaged and stuff. I'd kind of like to see her come back with like a fake arm or something like that.
I really liked how they sort of showed some new like Force elements and stuff. Like if like Rey and Kylo are like they're like pretty much on different sides of the galaxy, but somehow they're connected by the Force.
Yeah,
and they can see each other and pretty much communicate as if they were in front of each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, that happens a couple of times during the movie, and like this is really interesting. And Snoke himself shows a couple of different like Force powers and stuff. Like,
didn't he take over Kylo's visuals or something and pretended to lure? So he lured Rey.
He connected them through the Force.
Yeah,
and yeah, he pretty much
tricked her.
Yeah, he pretty much like supplanted.
Wasn't really Kylo.
Yeah, like he pretty much like tricked him and stuff into thinking that Snoke was like, you're not good enough, you're weak, and you're all this shit, and like trying to.
That fight scene though with the red that was brilliant.
In Snoke's chamber, because it's like all like red and stuff, and he has like the red like Praetorian Guard who are in like they were in Rogue One and they were in the prequels. There's a scene after Snoke gets killed where Rey and Kylo are side by side like fighting all the Praetorian Guard, and honestly I think is the most beautiful shot in any Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucking gorgeous. It's wallpaper material.
They definitely need it.
You could fucking print that out and hang it up on your wall. It's that fucking good.
I loved how there was no you can't see it's just red. It's like they've got red sheets around everywhere. Everything's just made of red.
Like the entire room's red. And they're having this big, like, slow-mo, like, lightsaber duel and, like, fighting these, like, 4 or 5 Praetorian Guard. And it's really awesome. It's really great scene.
And they've got different kind of lightsaber weapons, too. Like a whip one, and then there's, like, spear blade things with, like, and they can just, beautiful.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful.
And I really think that they needed at least one really nice lightsaber battle in the movie to make it. Otherwise, it would have been... Everyone expects to see a really nice lightsaber battle.
Yeah, everyone expects a great lightsaber duel in Star Wars movie. That's pretty much why you pay half the ticket price.
Yeah. But I would have loved to see Snoke actually do something like, and I know it would have... maybe the way that they did it was right because he probably is way too powerful to go one-on-one with, maybe. But and that made it a bit more realistic. Oh, well, not realistic, but reasonable. But yeah, I still would have loved to see what he can do and who he is. Like,
or maybe it was just the director going, you know what, I really didn't like these elements in this last movie, or because it seems like J.J. Abrams and that kind of introduced like Snoke and all that. But didn't really sort of have the, the far thought of thinking like, what's this guy's backstory? Maybe they thought of it a little bit, but, when he didn't come back, they're like, this guy's kind of dull. Let's just kill him off out of the way because these two characters, Rey and Kylo, are actually way more interesting.
Yeah.
Get rid of all this puffy filler and stuff. Get rid of this one, and then we don't have to worry about them in the future. We can really just, in the next movie, we can really just focus on these two.
Yeah.
And Kylo just has this great turn because, he kills Snoke.
Yeah.
And then pretty much becomes the bloody, what is it, the supreme leader or whatever.
I actually really liked him in this.
I did too. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. What do you think about that shirtless scene?
He wasn't so sooky.
The scene where he had his... He's so sooky.
He was massive. He's like bulked up. Like he's real broad now and he's got like big rib cage or something. I don't know. He just seems like really built now.
I'm just like, is this the first Star Wars movie we've ever had where one of the main characters has their shirt off?
Yeah.
It's like, is that what we're doing now in these movies?
Yeah.
I think Finn even gets his shirt off for a bit, doesn't he? Or he's just got like a low cut like shirt like down the front.
I can't remember, yeah. But it was good. What do you think of Carrie Fisher? Like how...
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I thought she was great in the movie, but the scene where... I love the build-up to that scene where Kylo Ren is about to shoot the bridge.
Yeah, that was...
But he doesn't. And just that shot of his hand with his finger on the toggle, and he just takes it off. And you just see the toggle just move ever so slightly.
That's the first sign of goodness you see. And you're like, it's okay, I'm not going to kill him.
And then the two ships that are behind him, that are trailing him, they they shoot off their missiles.
Yeah.
And she gets blown out into space. And you're like, holy fuck, that's how they're going to get rid of her in this movie. And then it comes back and she does this big fucking like Mary Poppins like force thing. And she like floats back into the ship. And I thought, this is kind of hokey.
I actually thought the same. I thought, at first I thought, oh geez, that's a bit rough, like killing her off in the movie and, obviously in real life. I thought, they're going to actually do it for real. And I kind of knew that they would bring her back somehow. I thought, how the hell is she going to come back from this? But yeah, they did. So she's sort of connected to the Force as well.
Yeah, she's Force sensitive as well.
Because it's in her blood, isn't it? Like,
yeah, she's a Skywalker as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was...
Oh, technically.
But she's not really tapped into her powers that well.
Yeah, because that's what they explained in The Force Awakens, because they were like, she was Force sensitive because in Return of the Jedi and that, and Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
But, she went a different way, somebody needed to lead the rebellion and she's the general and she went that way instead of going off and training. But I guess she's, maybe she just picked up a few tricks on her own along the way. But yeah, I just thought, I kind of thought that scene was really hokey.
Yeah.
Where she floats back into
the ship.
Like
a bit too far-fetched.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit much. Like, they are introducing, like, new Force things and stuff and that, but...
She wasn't even...
Just at the moment when I saw that, I was like, oh, really?
She wasn't even really battle damaged or anything like... surely... being in an explosion like that and being shot out into space.
Maybe she just did a big force field. Force, yeah.
But you would at least have like a limb or something gone. Like
limb. She's got an arm blown off, and then she gets a robot arm.
Yeah, well, that would have actually been a bit more.
That would have been pretty cool.
I would have accepted that scene a bit more if she even had a cut on her face or something. Like there was nothing. Like it's like she was. Anyway,
what did you think of Rey in this movie? I thought she was fantastic.
I did. I liked her a lot, actually.
I think she really sort of like coming into her own in this movie.
She is really, starting to begin to be one of the favourites now. She's she's great. I think she was really good.
I thought she was fantastic. One problem I actually had with this movie when I was watching it is because now that Han's gone, you've sort of like Chewie's sort of lost that 2-man dynamic that he had.
Yeah.
Like he was playing second fiddle to Han.
He wasn't in there much, was he?
I really felt like Chewie was like in the background like too much. The only real Chewie stuff we saw was all the interactions he was having with Porgs. Yeah. And if you cut the Porgs out of the movie, then you would pretty much cut Chewbacca out of the movie. Yeah. I didn't really... I would have loved to have seen Chewbacca have a bit more of a role in this movie. Too. Other than he had a couple of great like scenes of comedy and stuff. There were a couple of great jokes, a couple of great visual gags with Chewbacca. What did you think of the comedy in this? There were quite a few jokes. They were trying to... I know Rian Johnson said he was trying to inject a bit more humour into but there were a lot of jokes that just didn't land.
Fell short. There's one that stood out to me, and I was like,
Tell me.
I was like, no. That one joke of, what's his face? The Codebreaker guy, but we know him well.
Benicio del Toro.
Yes, and he just goes around the corner after BB-8 had just taken down all these guys, and he just looks at him and he goes, "What's your story, Roundy?" And I was like, I just put my hand on my face and went, "You did not say that."
I really liked that joke.
I was like, Roundy.
It wasn't like really a joke, but yeah.
I was like, you didn't just say that.
What did you think of General Hux, where they sort of like, he was a bit more of a prominent figure in the first one, and he's still quite prominent in this one, but he's pretty much just been relegated to, like jokey sort of cannon fodder. Like he's the butt of all the jokes. There was one great joke with Kylo when they're on the new AT-ATs at the end, and he's like, what was it? He's like, let me down to the ground, lower me down to the ground or whatever. I want to get out. And he's like, "Sir, I don't think that's a good idea." And he's like, pushes him out of the way, and the one driver guy is like, "Opening the doors right now, sir." And it's just like that quick follow up or whatever. Yeah. I did like a lot of the jokes in this, but then there were a lot that the humor just felt really out of place. It just didn't hit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There were a few dud jokes in there for sure.
And it was. They weren't really paced out so well either. It was only like little bursts of humor here, and then a lot of massive, boring kind of, and then serious moments. And
I did like the one at the start where Poe's on the communicator, and he's like, "I have a message for General Hux."
Yeah, they were pretty good.
And then he's like, "There's Hux here," and he's like, holding for Hux or whatever. And then he's like, he's like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" It's just like, "This is General Hux." He's like, tallish, like pasty guy, like red hair or whatever.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. We should probably talk about the end of the movie, the final act on Crate. Yeah. So the rebels have like fled to this abandoned like rebel base on this planet. It's called Crate, Craite, and they're there, and the First Order's coming. They're like, "We've got to make our last stand. We've sent out this big distress message. Everyone will come, they'll come help us." And then they're like, "No one's coming." And it's just like the AT-ATs, the UAT-ATs, the walkers and that, they look really good. They're almost like big gorillas the way they had like the turned in feet and stuff.
And the way the sunset was there and everything was beautiful.
And really the skimmers or whatever, like the rusty old skimmers they had. You've seen them in the trailer where they've got their poles down and they're going across the white and they're kicking up like all the red dust and that behind.
Reminds you of episode 1. Like I know like they're not the best movies, but back when they had the races. And they'd like race those things and they're dragging on the sand and stuff. Yeah, really cool.
I thought they were going to do that on the casino planet when they went to the racetrack. I'm like, they're going to have some pod racing in this movie, but they had like those horse alien fucking things or whatever.
Oh yeah, yep.
And the big money shot at the end of the movie. Luke turns up on Crate. Hope's back. Hope's arrived, and he's had a haircut and he's trimmed his beard and he's got his Flash Jedi clothes and that on. And he goes out to face Kylo Ren, and they go to have this big duel, and he's pretty much just one-upping Kylo the entire time. And then it turns out that Luke's still on the Jedi planet or whatever, and he's done this massive like force projection like across the universe. Yeah, because he's that powerful. Twist, wasn't it? Then he ends up dying. Like he gives up his life. I guess he becomes like a force ghost.
I was like,
or whatever after that.
He's just come back.
Yeah, we've got the other bit I just remembered after this. But yeah, what did you think of that?
I was like, no, don't. I was like, you've just come back. He's this legendary character. I actually hate movies that do that. You've created this absolute legend of a character, and I think it means a lot that he's back because it's been like 30 years or something, like since we've seen him on film or whatever. But And I'm like, oh, finally, and this is what everyone's been waiting for. And then at the end, he's gone. And I'm like, no, at least do another movie or two.
But that's the thing, like, you know, destroying the past so they can forge their own future. Because the next movie will just be, it'll be Rey and it'll be Kylo.
Yeah.
It'll be their movie.
It comes down to, like, I know that's what they're trying to ultimately do, is just hand it off to a bunch of new actors. But it's a little, you know, it's kind of a little like, I'd love to see still not. Don't do it so quick. Like, don't kill all the original cast off straight away just so you can get merged into all these new ones. I would have.
But you got to know he'll be back in the next movie as a Force Ghost. He'll pop up at least once.
You reckon?
As a Force Ghost. Speaking of Force Ghosts,
yeah,
fucking had this great panning shot of Luke walking up the hill, and here's fucking Yoda.
Yeah,
and they had
pops
this great
out of nowhere.
Now that Yoda was a puppet, but did it have CG? Overlays. I think it had a little. I think he had a little bit of CG.
You could tell. You got to give him a good nod for that. Actually, they went back to the old classic kind of ways of doing it, and you could tell. Yeah, it was definitely a puppet.
Practical effects.
But then I reckon they tweaked a lot, like just to make him just a little bit more realistic with CGI as well in the facial features, maybe.
Honestly, I thought. I really love that scene between Luke and Yoda and whatever, and
it's good scene back.
Yeah, I won't say too much about that scene, even though we're in the spoiler section, but.
Go on.
At the end, when Luke was dying or whatever, and he looked up and he saw like the twin sons again, and then I thought in that moment he would look and Anakin would be there, like Force Ghost Anakin would be there, like as he's dying or whatever.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "It's okay, son. Like it's time to let go
Join
or whatever."
Me.
And I would have been like, I would have wept tears of like
that would have
joy,
made it. Hey.
Star Wars geek joy, and I'm like, "Oh, so beautiful, Star Wars, I love it." But yeah, I really liked the movie. I think my favorite part of this movie, I think Rey was great, but I really liked Kylo Ren in this movie.
Yeah, I did
because
too.
At the beginning, he was wearing his mask and he had the voice, like, you know, the voice. And then he's just like, remove that stupid hood. And then he takes it off and he's in the elevator and he's just like looking at it. And he's like, stupid, eh? And he's like fucking smashes it. And then he's pretty much just, you know, he's more Ben Solo than he is Kylo Ren.
Why did they get rid of his scar though? He had this awesome black scar, but it had like
carbon. Oh well, they did it up.
It had like carbon fiber under it and stuff. It looked really cool. It was like made of like half metal or something under it that was.
I think that was pretty much just like a space band-aid.
Was it?
And then he had like the little robots that were patching out, but he had that fucking cool scar.
Yeah, right down his neck.
I thought that was great, but
makes it look real bad.
I really loved Kylo in this movie, more so in this movie than in the last one, because his turn was great, especially like the confliction between him, like with Rey, and then like he helps Rey, but like he pretty much like just needed her help to like get rid of Snoke and that as well.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know, Rey, he's like, join me. He's like, we can. And she's like, don't do this. And for a second, I'm like, she's going to take his hand. That's going to happen. They're going to do this. This is going to be controversial. But they didn't.
I thought that that was definitely the best part of the story was like through the entire movie. All I wanted to know was, is he gonna turn good? I was like, or is he gonna go super dark and like just that switch of between. It's just that wonder. Is he or isn't he? But through the whole movie, which was kind of good, to have that something to grip you in, you know, like, and keep you interested through the entire film. That was the one thing that kept me going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was all right. It was good. I did expect more, but I thought it was a good overall movie. Actually,
I thought I did have a couple of problems with it. I thought, there's a little bit of pacing, and I didn't really like the whole. Like, we're just going back to, like, the spaceships just coasting through space or whatever. And, like, we're against the clock, you know? I don't like the whole idea of being against the clock in, like, like a Star Wars movie. But then we've never had that before, you know? Like, props to Rian Johnson and that for doing something different, doing different, like, creative. I think this is going to go down as one of the better Star Wars movies and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I did like this movie. I did really like this movie. Yeah, I had a couple of problems with it. Like, just some of the humor didn't land, and, you know, there was a bit of pacing and whatever. And some of the stuff sort of just took me aback, like the whole lightsaber over the shoulder. I was like, ha! Is that what they're gonna do?
Yeah.
You know? Is that how they're gonna do it? You're like, okay. Just like, because then at that moment, I'm just like, you know, people have been wondering for the last, like, 2 or 3 years, like, what are they going to do and whatever. And same with Rey's parents and the same with Snoke. And he's just like, none of this fucking matters. Just kill that person. Your parents were junkers. They were fucking whatever.
How does he know who her parents were, though?
I don't know.
I don't know how he knows her. How he knows she doesn't.
He saw it. He saw it when they were connected by the Force.
Oh, okay.
He saw them. He's like, I can see your parents behind you. And then he pretty much says to her, he's like, you've known it all along. He's like, stop lying to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Stop kidding yourself. He's just
Yeah,
like, your
that's
parents were junkers. And she's like, I've known it all along. I'm so emotional with the Force.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I loved it. Ray, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ending, they're like, because the rebellion's pretty much down to like literally a handful of people. They're all on the Millennium Falcon because they've all been killed off, and they're like, we are that line from the trailer, and we are the spark that will light the flame that will take the First Order down.
Yeah.
And then you've got at the end because that scene on the casino planet or whatever, and Rose gave one of the kids her rebellion ring and all this sort of stuff, and then it cuts to the kids. They're telling these stories about the Force, about Luke Skywalker, and the word's going to spread and whatever. And you see this kid go outside to like reach for the broom, but then the broom comes to him, so like he's Force sensitive, and then he stands out and he's sweeping and he looks up at the stars.
Oh, really? Did it come to him?
Yeah, like he reached for the broom and his hand was far away, and then the broom just.
Oh, really?
Just came to him.
Oh, I missed that because I was wondering what that was about with the kid. I was like, why is he special? But I missed the broom bit. So
yeah, and then this is where the new rebellion starts.
Was there an end credits scene? I didn't really stay around.
I didn't stay. There's nothing like that in Star Wars movie. No. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it was a great movie. I had a great trip to the cinemas. Yeah, some of it took me back a little bit. It wasn't what I expected, but yeah, on the whole, I did really like it.
Yep.
Yeah. Love me some Luke Skywalker and some Chewbaccas. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, mate. I'll give that a 4 out of 5. You what? 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
You bloody Star Wars.
End of spoilers.
Great. End of spoilers.
I'm looking forward to watching more. I am interested to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be sick.
I'm not sure about this Han Solo, solo Star Wars movie or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll go see it, of course. Anyway, mate, I've got the yawns on. That might wrap it up. So, people want to find you online, where can they find you?
PatrickBrownArt.com. That's my official website. You can go onto Facebook and track me down on there. I Patrick Brown Art. And then DeviantArt, Patrick Brown on DeviantArt. So yeah, check it out. And I've also got a Patreon and stuff like that. But yeah, there we go.
I've got a Patreon. Give me money.
Yeah,
it's like send me a couple of bucks a month. I'll give you some
it's a bit quiet these days because Marvel has fully taken over. It's my whole life.
He has no life.
So I can't do my own fan art anymore, which I miss.
That's what you should do. Just quit Marvel and go back to doing your own thing.
Yeah, but I'm hoping to get back into it soon. So
yep.
Yeah.
And if you want to find the Bearded Geeks online, you can go facebook.com/Bearded Geeks Pod. That's us on Facebook. If you want to listen to our Drop the Beard playlist on Spotify, just search for the Bearded Geeks or Drop the Beard, and you can check out our playlist for 2017 so far, all the songs we nominated, including the 2 Star Wars tracks we nominated today. If you want to listen to the show, you can download or listen to the show on SoundCloud and iTunes, and we're also on YouTube. You want to buy a shirt, you can go to TeePublic if you want, and we're on Instagram and Twitter and all those other places. But yeah.
Yep.
Man, it's been a rough day.
Buy a shirt.
Buy a shirt.
Yep.
Buy a shirt. They're going out. They're selling out. I've been disheartened today. Like, I really hope I can get this sorted out. And like, we tried to record this morning, but we just had so many problems, just with the recording software and that. And then now I've had this problem on my hard drive, which literally has everything on it that's show related.
That is nothing worse than, a hard drive crashing and losing everything.
So I'm in a bit of trouble at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, anyway. Next week is our final episode of the year 2017. It'll be our best of 2017.
Yep.
I believe Bobby Baxter will be back next week to close out the year.
The trio,
the dream team.
We're back.
And OK Google will be there. Google Home will be there.
Get Siri in the mix.
They were like, hey Google, what was the top 10 movies of 2017? It. I could ask her. She'll tell me.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so next week, best of 2017. Hopefully we're back up and running. We've, I've got a bit of work to do. Try and get things back in order, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll get there.
Anyway, next week, best of 2017, Star Wars The Last Jedi. It was great. Go see it. Really liked it. Thanks everyone. We'll see you all next week on the Bearded Geeks. Hey!